Thanks for coming to my TED Talk about why Reimu Haruke from the Touhou project should be the final character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's Fighters Pass 2, brought to you in the form of my long overdue review for Touhou and its Antinomy of Common Flowers, or Touhou Project 15.5, making it the first official Touhou spin-off I've reviewed. So, who is Reimu and why does she deserve to be in Smash Bros? Well, Reimu is a hard-working shrine maiden who protects the outside world from various yokai, not those kinds, with her ability to float through life, attack with orbs, create various barriers, and use spell cards. But we'll get into that later. As for Smash, I think she'd be the ultimate indie rep. The mainline Touhou project games are bullet hell shoot 'em ups created by one person, Zun, and are a prime example of Dojin software, that is, hobbyist, fan-made, or indie games. Not only from those games themselves, but from the sheer amount of fan games and other derivative works that are created and allowed to be sold. Now, sure, Smash Bros. Has its indie representation in the form of a Shovel Knight Assist trophy, a Cuphead, a Shantae and Sans Mii costumes, and some with music tracks, and I wouldn't be too mad if that's all we got, although we better get at least one song. But I think Touhou deserves to be Smash's actual indie representation, especially since it's a longer running series than most, meaning Reimu would also be a legacy character. Now, unlike Smash, this is a tag team fighter where you have a master and a slave, and the fighters are essentially flying in the air with the ability to sort of go up and down lanes temporarily, with a focus on being shooting and avoiding projectiles because every character has them. Plus there's several meters that you need to use whether to tag out or use a special move, and I think it all makes for an interesting and unique gameplay system. So there isn't much comparison between this and a platform fighter. However, from this game and the mainline series, we can see that Reimu has plenty of moves at her disposal, such as grabbing someone to place an explosive tag on them, or shooting projectiles that temporarily hold her opponent. Plus, it's always good to have more technical characters that focus on positioning. But I have to take a break to talk about the actual best girl in this game, Mimizu. She is a tanuki with all sorts of amazing moves utilizing yokai, or doing things like transforming into stone to deliver a Kirby-like drop. Plus, she has the Men in Black reference, which just goes to show the amazing level of detail in this game. Most of the story routes end with a boss fight where the character you're facing will shield themselves and you'll need to dodge bullet patterns to attack. Wouldn't it be awesome to have in a low gravity fight to simulate the effects of this? Sure, we don't have that many classic mode bosses, but it wouldn't hurt to have one more, right? And if you've been on the internet and are telling me you haven't heard the Bad Apple remix, stop lying. Touhou Project is well known for its music and remixes, and with the over 15 banging tracks present in Common Flowers, there's potential for almost as many in a Smash game. Just from what we see in Common Flowers, there's plenty of places to fight even if they aren't too fancy in this game, such as the shrine, the outside world, or my favourite, the flying ship. What is a sight to see is the sprite work, with every character's unique moves having gorgeous animations that really show personality. I mean, check out this girl's cape. Like I've said, you've got the story mode with special mechanics, along with the exciting gameplay that I'm sure looks a lot better from somebody with any actual skill. And tons of variety in character detail, with a sizable roster ranging from Reimu to a princess in a bowl that attacks you with a needle. Now, as great and fun as this game is, it is lacking some basic things. For one, when you open up the game, you might actually need to go into the settings to change it to English. Even then, some things still aren't translated, like the spell cards, meaning you're gonna have to try things out for yourself. While in the story, characters talk in speech bubbles, and instead of editing them in the speech bubbles, they just... The major issue is that there's no tutorial or instructions, so I guess go on the Steam guide and try to figure out which buttons are what. Luckily, there is a practice mode, but many characters have unique systems which will take a while to understand. There's also no standard arcade mode, and the story only lets you play with a mere portion of the cast. Pairing with that, the comms on most difficulties are very easy to bully. And as far as I'm aware, the online runs pretty badly, though if you're a Smash fan, you're used to that. PC players can download a patch to alleviate the issue. I definitely still think this is a game worth playing, especially if you've got anybody local. Otherwise, you might want to go on PC for online play, as this game seems to be lacking some basic single player content. And if Reimu doesn't get in Smash, at least we have Common Flowers, where we can bonk each other over the head with traffic signs using the tiniest controller ever. Plus, unless there's somebody I don't know about, it is actually an all-female fighter, unlike most of its kind that end up having one joke character or adding men later on. And if you liked this video, check out my review of a Double Dash inspired racing game and let me know who you think the ultimate indie rep for Smash Bros would be. Now I can finally let myself play Guilty Gear even though everybody else has already chosen my main.